Hello, Reg here from Reg's Reviews and Interviews at Comic-Con Wales with Paul Blake. Hello.
Mike. Quinn.
Mike Quinn.
Last time I looked.
Last time you were. How long ago was that?
It was about 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes
And yes, I didn't like what I saw, so I was like, I'll just pretend I'm Paul Blake instead. Much better.
Oh, wait. What's your time been like here at Comic-Con Wales?
Great. Really nice. Yeah, really nice seeing old, new friends, and it's been awesome. Yeah, really, really fun and upbeat.
Yeah.
Good time.
Dreadful. I hate everyone here. They're all awful. No, it's perfect. Obviously, it's always great coming to Comic-Con. Particularly in Wales. I haven't been here for ages. Even though it's raining, Wales. Again, get some good weather.
Must be cool to meet all the Star Wars fans.
Yeah, actually it is. And also, but we're all like fans of all the other genres as well. And
Yeah.
Doctor Who and Sons of Anarchy and Back to the Future and all those guys are here as well. So it's kind of fun for us all to intermingle and appreciate each other.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You've done loads of the Star Wars conventions, and I'm sure you've seen loads of cosplays. If you had to pick, what's like the most outlandish one you've seen? What's the first that comes to mind, at least?
Oh, it's usually like when the people are in those giant robots or transformers or whatever, these massive devices that can't even fit through a door, and they walk around, and I don't know how they do it. It's really good stuff.
Yeah.
Impressive.
It is, certainly. So tell me, who did you play in Star Wars?
I played Greedo in the very first Star Wars film, A New Hope. So that was the character I suppose I'm most famous for.
Yeah.
The one I'm mostly known for is Nien Nunb. He was the co-pilot for Lando at the Millennium Falcon.
Right.
But as a puppeteer, you get to do all different kinds of characters. So I assisted with Yoda, baby Ewoks, and a lot of stuff in the newer shows and films as well.
So you did the Return of the Jedi in the original trilogy
Yeah.
before reprising your role for the
yeah,
sequels.
yeah.
What were the biggest sort of notable changes between those two?
In terms of the character or the filmmaking itself.
Both.
For the character, in the first movie, he was a hand puppet, like a big Muppet. And in the last three, it was a costume that I wore with an animatronic face, radio control face. But in terms of filmmaking, there were, what was it, like 35 years difference or something? But they'd gone back to film again, shooting on film, which was nice, because I thought we'd never see that again. But the biggest difference for me, I think, is lighting. Lighting has changed. You know, the lights are a lot lower. They're not as hot anymore because they can use all the LED stuff and be a lot more subtle with it. That's really the biggest difference, I think, that I found.
So at the time, you're filming the very first Star Wars film. Was there a special feeling about it? Did you have an idea of how much of a cultural phenomenon it become?
No, not at all. I mean, in the 1970s, in 76, when the movie was first made, we all thought we were going to be an Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. We had no knowledge that the movie would be successful. It was only in hindsight that we realized what a massive... I mean, it stood the test of time over 40 years, I think, plus the various massive spin-offs that have happened. So, no, we had no idea. The only person who did was George Lucas. Actually.
Yeah.
I think he knew.
Yeah, I think he must have had it all planned out in his head.
I think so.
Tell me, what was it like, going on set, being transported to this alien, futuristic world?
Yeah, again, Elstree, 1976, not much of an alien futuristic world. A lot of paintings.
Right.
The Millennium Falcon was a flat painted with a ramp going up the middle, which you fell off the back of. So, and a few blue screen and green screen cutouts, which we all played on, all the actors played on from time to time, with gun turrets from the Millennium Falcon. So you could play shooting at aliens, which was cool and good fun. The only real set, which was interesting, was the cantina, because it had the proper booths that you recognize from A New Hope. They were actually built in reality, and the lighting was beautiful. And the bar, the circular bar, was pretty cool too. So I remember that was impressive, because I remember sitting around and watching filming of when Harrison and Alec Guinness and Kenny Baker as R2-D2 come down the ramp into the canteen. I remember watching that being filmed because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was quite cool from that point of view.
So you've had a really interesting career, in puppetry. Then you went into VFX animation.
Animation, character animation. Yeah.
So you've had a taste of sort of both the traditional
Yeah.
and modern ways of creating.
I went from analog to digital, and then sort of back to analog again, and now they're sort of all have all become this sort of melding of the two in a way now, which is really good.
Do you think CGI is taking over in any way then? Do you think there's a place for puppetry in the future of film?
Yeah, no, if anything, it's found its place now. You know, everything is, I think, settled, and like CG was the big, the new kid in town for a little while. And people sort of had to learn what that was and what it wasn't. And now we're definitely using a lot more practical stuff again.
Yeah.
So, and the CG is more either to enhance stuff or do things that we can't do, or lose puppeteers and rods and heads, or set extensions, you know, stuff in the background, or things that are not safe for us to do. So it's like they're working together now. It's like it's grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
And we're doing a lot more. Everyone wants to see more practical creatures and effects and characters. So that's what we're doing now. It's great. It's nice to see that finally come back around.
So obviously Star Wars was like first of its kind, but was that your first time acting underneath, you know, a mask like that? Was that uncomfortable?
Yeah, it was actually a good question. The one and only time in 40 years of a career that I ever worked in a mask was Greedo. Actually, no, I tell a lie. I did a Greek play in Hong Kong where we played in masks, so that was the only other time. But yeah, no, the mask for me, again, in those days was easy. It was a life mask, so they sit you in a seat and put plaster of Paris on your head on the front and back, and that solidifies, and then they poured in an India rubber solution, which when it sets is the shape of your head, so it fits pretty exactly. And then they give that to the modelers who build up whatever alien they wanted to build. So it was it was easy, my mask, really.
So to finish off, tell me briefly what Harrison Ford was like to work with and who you believe truly shot first.
Well, it's much more exciting to get your opinion on who you think shot first.
Well, I'm not sure if I can comment yet.
Well, I mean, Harrison was cool. He was virtually unknown in those days, so there was a lot riding on his shoulders, and he was very conscious of that. But he was very, very sassy. He ad-libbed a lot, which was great because George loved that because it added to the scenes. And so he was very funny in those bits and pieces. He was very professional. He knew what was happening from moment to moment, which is more than we did. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool working with him. And who do I think shot first? Well, he did, of course. If I'd shot first, I'd have run off with Princess Leia, defeated Darth Vader. The whole franchise would have been mine. I should have shot him.
Maybe in an alternate
reality. Alternate reality. Maybe. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks so much.
Enjoy the rest of your time here.
All right. See you next time.
It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure to meet you
Enjoy
too.
the rest of your time.
Thank you.